You're good? What camera? Is that camera on me? Oh, you got the wide camera right now?
Where do we look?
Okay.
My good side's this, so can you move?
Coach, let's get the show on the road, Cam.
Makeup.
You're making the bloopers, man.
I know.
It's got to be a red light on. It's not on yet. Where's the on-air sign?
So
Ladies and gentlemen.
Audience laugh. Good? All right. Welcome back, y'all, to Dog Talk, episode number 5, and we got a special one today. We got a TLU men's basketball alumni episode, and we got some special guests with us today. We got Coach Steve Porter, all-time leader in rebounds, second all-time in points, 4-time all-conference, 3-time first team, MVP one time, TLU Hall of Famer, seriously retired. I could keep going, but Coach Porter's in the house today, and also we got Jacob Kourmetis as well joining us, class of 2019, 3-time SCAC champ, one of the best three-point shooters in program history, and a guy that Coach Falke probably refers to all the time about one of the culture builders of this team as well. So appreciate y'all for coming on. Welcome in.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Nice to be here.
So we'll go right into it. Coach Porter, we'll start with you. For those that don't know, Coach Porter is a legend playing here, but now he's helping out. He's been helping out the team for a while now as a volunteer assistant. Just what do you enjoy most so far? I guess enjoy the most from just the experience so far of being able to help us out every day, and kind of what do you enjoy doing on a daily basis with us?
Yeah, it's a real blessing to be part of the program.
Mm-hmm.
I just really enjoy being part of the program. Being on campus brings back great memories
for sure.
For me. Every time I come out on the court, I have memories as well, and I see the Jim Schuler court, and when I see that, I have great love and respect for Coach Schuler. I got to play for him, and that's been a real blessing for me. Just being around the guys, trying to help Coach Falke, Coach Bryson, get the team ready for the season has just been a lot of fun. And I enjoy the life lessons.
Yes, me too.
I've lived a long time now, so I've got some little bit of experience that I can pass on to the guys that I hope that might remember down the line and help them out in life.
Oh yeah, we'll stay on that topic, and we do game of life lessons in the basketball program, and Coach Porter has some of the best ones, and now it's gotten better this year. Some of the guys on the team too are starting to do them as well. So it's a good time. We'll switch over to Jacob now. What are you up to these days, man? And just what is it about this place that keeps you coming back and supporting the team?
Yeah, so I actually just got married this June, so life has been busy. We're living in New Braunfels, so it's easy to stick around and come around for some games and practices when I can. As far as what brings me back, I owe a lot to TLU as a whole, both academically and athletically. So anytime I can, come back, see the team, or even see old professors that come to games, whatever the case may be, like Coach Porter said, just brings back memories and so many good ones. Even through like the trials and tribulations, and if there were bad moments, like when you look back on them, they just mold you, and it just really changes who you are as a person when you come here and when you leave here. So I love to come back and see the new guys, and also the guys that have met me and know me a little bit, and lets me reminisce on the good days a little bit, so it's good.
Yeah, we got alumni game coming up, homecoming week this week, alumni game this Saturday, so that should be fun too. We'll go ahead and switch gears now. I want to dive into both of y'all's just individual basketball journeys. We'll start with Coach Porter. I know growing up way up north in South Dakota, right? Is that correct?
Sioux Falls,
South Dakota. Just talk to me about that growing up.
Home of the great basketball.
Yeah, talking about growing up there and just your recruitment process to TLU. What brought you here way back when?
Yeah, so Sioux Falls, Washington High, the largest high school in South Dakota. But we had 3 grades, 2,400 kids, and we had a great high school experience as well as college. So at one point, we won, senior year, we won 23 straight games. We ended up 24-1, lost in the state tournament to a team we beat by 16 during the season. But we had a 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" front line.
Wow.
And 2 of those guys were Division II NCAA players, and I, of course, got a scholarship here at Texas Lutheran. So we had a good a good team. I got recruited, mostly local, and had some Division I interest. But in those days, Texas Lutheran actually recruited some from up north, Minnesota. A lot of the athletes were from Minnesota and South Dakota
Midwest.
and up the Midwest because of the Lutheran heritage up there. And so we had a couple guys from Sioux Falls, Washington High, friends of mine that actually played basketball here. So I came, Coach Schuler, I came down for a spring break trip. It was, we left in there's 5 of us in a car right after the state basketball tournament, mid-March. We left in a blizzard. We got down here. It was 75 degrees, blue skies. And three of the 5 decided to go to Texas Lutheran for some reason.
It's all the sunshine they want to say.
Yeah. But I got a real quick recruiting story.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm sitting at home one Saturday afternoon, and I answer the phone, and Steve, I said, yes, sir. The voice on the other end says, this is Bob Bass. I'm general manager and head coach of the Memphis Tams of the American Basketball Association. I go, oh, hello, sir. And he said, I understand Coach Schuler trying to get you to go down and play at Texas Lutheran. I said, yeah, he's recruiting me and thinking about it very seriously. He says, well, just want to let you know, I coached Coach Schuler on a South American tour when he was a college player, and he was a great player. He's a great coach. You'll do well to go there, and I'll tell you, we'll put you on a list of guys to keep our eye on. And of course, that's very impressive to a high school kid,
that's
right?
Impressive.
And to his credit, Bob Bass later became general manager and was a coach of the Spurs, San Antonio Spurs as well. So he kept. They scouted me and invited me to a free agent tryout after I was done. So kept his word. But anyway, it was a great experience just sitting at home getting a call like that.
So now we switch over to Jacob. Same thing. Just what was the recruitment process like for you, and basically high school journey for you?
Yeah. So I'm actually glad you told that story because mine is polar opposite. So we're getting 2 ends of the spectrum here.
This is perfect.
I was not recruited to any college, including this one. So my experience was a lot different. Had a decent high school team. Made playoffs my junior year. Did not make playoffs senior year. My district was full of D1 and D2 basketball players. I believe my senior year, I did not make all district. That's how loaded it was.
Even senior year?
Yeah, even senior year.
Hey, let the people know too. What high school?
I went to O'Connor High School in San Antonio.
Yes, sir.
So I believe everyone on at least first team went on a basketball scholarship, D1, D2, or NAIA. So it was just a very competitive. We had a guy go to Minnesota, a guy go to Colgate, who's one of the best players out of Colgate. You name it, they went. So very competitive high school. So didn't have the best stats or anything like that. I knew I could play, but I'd kind of decided I'm either going to go to University of Texas or Texas State and get my accounting degree and move on with life. I'd kind of decided that. Thankfully, my brother played here. Jordan played here, and he was 2 years ahead of me, so he was a sophomore when I was a senior in high school. And the coaches, I give Coach Falke a hard time about this because I was not recruited here. So apparently they told me one day in March or April, hey, you can come play here if you want. But you knew that already. I said, no, I didn't know that. No one's told me this, so I don't know how I was supposed to know that information. So once I heard those words, I love basketball so much, it was kind of hard to pass
on.
Yeah, definitely hard to pass up. So kind of pivoted. They had a great accounting program here too. I was actually recruited to the accounting program here before I was basketball. Shout out Dr. Cook. She did get me here before Coach Smith got me here, so I'm going to give her that plug there.
She really recruited you.
She does, and she does a great job. But it all kind of worked out. I had already applied because I thought maybe I just want to go where my brother is anyway, stuff like that. But, everything happens for a reason. Talk about blessings. Things couldn't be happier with the way things went.
Yeah.
But yeah, totally different experience. And it's a lot different because I know yours, TLU or TLC was NAI at the time and could give athletic scholarships.
Yeah.
So, at the D3 level, once you get here, it's fair game for everybody. No one's on scholarship versus a walk-on. So, if you get here and prove your worth, you'll get on the court. So that's kind of my path.
I feel the same. My path pretty similar to yours too. There's not a whole lot of interest out of high school for me either. It's the only spot I could have gone.
Yep.
Took it, ran with it.
And look where you're at now.
And here we are.
How about that?
We'll go ahead and pivot now. So now talk about the pre-TLU journey. So now that y'all are here, just talk about the success that both of y'all experienced at TLU. What were the biggest keys that led to your individual and team success? We'll start with Coach Porter.
The question's the biggest
key to success that led to your success here.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Obviously, I credit Texas Lutheran for the success I had in a legal career, and the education that you get here, and the basketball experience was great. I think playing for someone like Coach Schuler, he was the most competitive man I've ever met or known or even seen. He just he was so competitive, and I played college basketball. I was a lawyer for 30 years, so I've seen some competitive people, but he was really competitive. He brought out the best in every player. He just knew the game and the psychology of the game so well. He recruited good guys to play around, so we had good teams all 4 years.
Yeah.
I was here, and when you have other good players to play with, that can make you a better player. Jacob knows that. They had great teams, but we had some great success with those teams. I think we were 73-36 or something.
Solid.
Which is the 18 win average a year and 9 loss average. So 18-9 is not bad.
Not bad at all.
4 years in a row. So I just Coach Schuler just stressed hard work and dedication and competitiveness, and that's how I tried to play. That's how I tried to be in the classroom. That's how I tried to be in my legal career, and it's paid off.
Yeah, everything goes beyond. I've learned that too from the Game of Life lessons. I mean, what you learn here can be applied anywhere outside once you're done here.
No question. You go to. I tell you guys all the time, you go to interview for the vice president's job, you better walk in there with some confidence.
Yep.
You better, have exhibited some dedication and determination and hard work, and that's the guy that's going to get the job.
Yeah, it all translates. I mean, I always say in an interview, like in any interview I have, I always bring up sports because it's what I know best. But but I always attribute to, we all grew up with different coaches throughout our lives, and it's like having different bosses, like being adaptable to the game of basketball is a game of basketball, but when one coach wants it a certain way and you go to a new coach, or if you go from high school to college and now this coach has a different philosophy, you got to adapt. And so I say the same thing all the time in my interviews is, I'm going from one job to another, but I know how to adapt because of my background in athletics and being able to adjust on the fly and work with different team members and stuff like that. It all translates for your entire life.
That's huge. And Jacob, we'll stay on you now with just what was kind of the biggest keys to your success. We got three championship banners for you back there.
Yeah.
Looking to add another one after this season.
I think we're due for one. But to touch on team success first, I think understanding roles is such a big part of team success. I know when I was a freshman, me and the other freshman class that were here at the time, we really tried to buy into how can we make the team better. We weren't all getting the playing time we wanted. Everyone wants to play, right? But there's just not enough time in the game. So it was really how can we make our scout or our first team, as prepared as possible with the scout team that we were on, trying to prepare. So we want it to be when the game starts, it's almost easier than practice. Like we want to go so hard that practice was hard and they get to the game and they think, oh, this guy's not even as good as the guy I was going against in practice. And if you can really buy into that, I mean, it'll make you better as well. And I think that went a long way for me too. Like when I came in, as much as I wanted to play, I wasn't better than anybody that was ahead of me. I mean, that was just the reality of it. But I do think it's easy to get into that mode of like, well, I'm not playing this year anyway, so I'm just gonna coast and I'll get better next year when that guy's gone or whatever. But if you take it seriously and you really, apply yourself every day and maybe, bust someone's ass one day that is starting. I mean, hey, maybe they're gonna play you a little bit that next game, and it might not be sustainable, but it will prepare you for. It's a 4-year process, right? It's not a 2-week, 3-week, 1-season process. It's all 4 years. And that kind of leads into the individual thing too. Like, it's a grind. Like you're not going to be ready from day one, no matter how good you were in high school or whatever your stats were. Like it's just a completely different ball game. So continuing to chip away at it and work at it. I mean, I don't think I was my best until my very last game, and I think that's a tribute to hard work and continuing to grow your game and expand. And work on your weaknesses, but also continue to build your strengths, and those just go hand in hand.
Yeah, that's a big thing I've learned too. Like my 4 years here, you can't put a limit on yourself.
Right.
Like you come in here, most guys usually get humbled the first few weeks.
Yeah.
I got humbled too in open gyms and stuff like that. But I mean, each passing year and each offseason, I think it's so big too to take advantage of those times by yourself. Then you come back the next year, it's like, whoa, who's this?
Right.
And each year, you keep doing that. Like, eventually, it pays off. So what
Definitely.
you're saying, any young players out there, any sport, like, it's true. Verbatim what he said, same thing I experienced and a lot of other freshmen, too, now that need to hear that. I mean, it's a real process, and you got to just attack it every day.
Yep.
But no, that was really good stuff, Jacob. We'll switch over now. Talk to the present day. We'll talk a little bit about what y'all think of this year's team. I know, Coach Porter, you see us every day. Jacob, you've been around a little bit. Just what do y'all look to see from us this year?
Well, what I see is a group of guys that are fun to coach because you guys compete. I told you after practice that you guys compete well against each other, and you play well together. We don't have, guys that need to shoot it every time.
Yeah.
Instead, y'all run the plays and look for each other, look for the hot guy, and look for good shots. And it's just that's fun. That's fun to coach when all that comes together. We've got a lot of work to do, obviously, before the first game. That's just the nature of the beast. But it's been I just think the group of guys we have they're fun to. You guys are fun to coach, and I look forward to see how far we can go this year.
Yes, sir. What about you, Jacob?
Yeah, I think this group is starting to understand like what the standard is here at TLU. Like, there's a reason those banners are up. I mean, that is the standard. It's not going to happen every single year. That's not realistic. But I think we're due. I think it's time to get back to that standard. And I think guys like you, Easton, and Isaac, and other older leaders at this point are starting to figure out, what it means to be a leader and kind of how to guide that team. It's not easy to do. It's a very difficult conference, and it's only getting better.
Yeah.
And so every game, night in, night out, there are no weak links. I mean, every game is a dogfight, no pun intended. But every game is difficult, and I think this group understands that and is prepared for the fight.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with a lot of what y'all said. I mean, me personally, I might be biased to this group, but I mean, this is the most together and close team we've had since I've been here by far. I mean, we're doing stuff together every weekend. I mean, after practice, we're doing stuff together. Everything we do beyond the basketball court, we're doing together, and I think it's translated so far onto the court and practice, and I just hope it can continue to translate in the game. Yeah. But we'll switch over now to one of my favorite parts of these episodes, so a little game segment. I thought long and hard about this one. So we're going to do a 1v1 draft, and y'all are going to draft all-time TLU players, like starting five, okay? And we'll go ahead and y'all are like the team captains for your team, so both of y'all are already on your respective teams. So you're going to draft 4 guys around you of any TLU player, past or present. So Coach Porter will go. You get the first pick. Who's your first pick?
Draft.
You're at starting at the 5 probably.
There's one player that has played here that has excelled above all others. Gerald Reiner.
Yeah.
And he's the all-time leading scorer. I started counting that his record. He still has 13 or 14, 14 records. All-American. Played in Europe for several years. I know Gerald. I watched Gerald play, and he's just one of the great all-time Texas Lutheran players.
Can't go wrong with that pick. I mean, he came and spoke to us. I think it was like maybe 2 years ago after practice. A great guy too. So he's probably one of the TLU goats. Mount Rushmore. You two are probably up there. TLU. All right, Jacob, what's your first pick?
I got to start with my point guard, Nathan Josephs. Great friend of mine. Started at Texas State. Started his career over there. I recruited him over. He had 2 years here, but just outstanding point guard. I mean, as a shooter, you want someone that can find you the ball, and he definitely knew how to pass it and get it in your shot pocket, ready to roll. And he can also score it too. That's for sure. So that's gonna be my first pick.
How'd you get him over here? By the way, I've always wondered that.
The power of friendship, man. It's strong. I didn't grow up with him, but I'd say middle school, high school. I can't remember exactly when. I mean, we became friends and good friends, and we had never played together. Actually, he went to a school in my district, but we never played together. Always against each other, and it wasn't going great at Texas State, and so I said, hey, I mean, why don't you
get a spot here?
You want to get some playing time?
Yep.
You want to win? I mean, we're going to do those things over here, and so and I think he would say that it was a great decision. I think he really enjoyed it, and it all went well.
Yeah.
Wow, what a recruiter!
Uh-huh,
What a great story.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
It's a good first recruit right there.
Yeah.
All right, next pick, Coach Porter.
Yeah, so going back, and I have a little bit of advantage because I've seen a lot
seen more
players than Jacob, but a player named Fred Battles was number 3 all-time
Got
scorer.
that record book memorized, man.
All-American.
He had a cheat sheet. He had a cheat sheet before he came on.
Yeah, All-American, was efficient. I saw him play, and he was, I think, the 4-year field goal percentage all-time leader, like I said, third year, 6'7", battled you on the board. So he would be nice to have on the
Is that your 4-man with you or 3?
I'm just picking the best player.
Okay, he's taking best player available. Best player available. All right, that's a good strategy. All right, next
player available.
Yeah, next pick, Jacob.
Well, I'm gonna have a small team because
we're gonna kill you on the boards. But go ahead.
You are gonna, but we're gonna shoot it. Well, Gerald.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna miss, right?
However, I'm gonna go ahead and pick my brother here. And
there you go.
Keep myself in the backcourt. I mean, I think he's 9th leading scorer if that record still stands.
Yeah.
Outstanding player. Easily the most competitive guy I've ever been around. I mean, I couldn't just shoot in the driveway without him getting on me and not missing shots. So, but he is a big reason as to why I was successful in the way that I was. He laid that foundation for me and for his teammates, and so to have that skill and that competitive drive on my team, I think lead us to a victory.
Yeah, that team chemistry looking good right now on your team.
I think so too.
Right. Yeah. I know. We're in trouble there.
Yeah. All right. But next pick, Coach Porter.
Yeah. So we're staying with the. I like the guys that can score. So Fred Battles was from the 80s. From the early 2000s was, I think that's when he played, Tommy Stolhansky. He was six all-time leading scorer. And senior year averaged 14 boards a game. So I like guys inside that can score and board. So that kind of describes I don't know, I guess Gerald can handle the ball, Gerald.
Was he a 1 or a 2?
He handled the ball.
He handled the ball?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit of everything, I bet.
Yeah,
did it all. All right, Jacob, next pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna with my 4-man here. I am picking positions here, but my 4-man, I gotta go Zach Bear. Talk about a guy who could get a bucket at any time. I mean, he had some of the best ISO game I had ever seen. So to have someone on my team that can just go get a bucket when we need it, I definitely want that on my team.
It's a good pick. By the way, I know all of Jacob's picks besides Gerald Reiner. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who all these people. Coach Porter could be saying random names right now. I couldn't be able to tell them no. So
I'm just telling you, well, I mean, it just goes to show there's been some great
100%.
players through the decades. There's different eras. There's been some great players that only played here 2 years, so they're not up in the stats. A prime example, Harry Miller was a senior when I came in my freshman year, and he came in from Howard County Junior College, and he averaged over 20 a game. He didn't have the stats because he played 2 years, but I promise you there's not very many guys that played here that were better than him. And so and there's different eras. Like the number 1 all-time leading scorer had the 3-point line, which kind of screws the number 2 leading scorer, right?
I think I know that guy.
I don't know who number 2 is, but he got used because of the changes in rules. No, but there's been a lot of great players, and to choose 5 would be very difficult. But to get another ball handler with Gerald and another guard, Benny Russell, was like the 7th all-time scorer, and I got to see him play. He was in the 80s. He was All-American, and so just another great player that, like you and Jacob, probably didn't get a
Sounds like
chance
a
to
solid.
see.
You drafting all the top 10 scorers. Got to be a solid squad.
A good team.
So it's a pretty decent squad, right?
All right, last pick, Jacob, to round it out.
I'm torn between 2, so I'm going to give a shout out to my honorable mention, Jackson Willoughby, my alley-oop partner. Definitely knew how to go up and catch a lob.
Oh, man,
so he's definitely my honorable mention, my 6th man. But my 5th and my 5-man is going to be Harris Joel. I need a little help on the boards here. He's only about 6'5", 6'6", but he played about 7 feet tall the way he played the game. Could also shoot a little bit because that's our era. I mean, everybody's shooting threes.
That's your matchup with Coach Porter, probably.
Yeah,
you got Harris.
Step out a little bit, but no, Harris was a great player. Only player in TLU history with 4 championships due to a torn ACL. He sat out.
He is on all 4 of those.
He is on all 4
NCAA tournaments.
And the guy was a winner through and through.
Yeah.
So got to have him on my team.
Yeah, I love that team. Yeah,
those are good picks from both of y'all.
Yeah. So, but let me, like, if I had a 6-man, then
go ahead. Why not? Why not?
You know, guys he played with.
Is Jackson your 6-man?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I want one more guy that
that
I played with. You know, like Dennis, a guy named Dennis Teeler. He's in the Texas High School Basketball Hall of Fame. Right. Scored 44 points in the state tournament. Little Gonzales High School over here.
Yep.
Went to Guy Lewis at University of Houston. Recruited him. Played there his first year. Actually got to play as a freshman. And transferred here. So there's another guy, you know, that not going to be a lot of players throughout Texas Lutheran history that are better than Dennis Teeler was as a basketball player. But again, I guess the 3 years kept his stats, all-time stats down. But anyway, great player, great guy. So anyway, that was a fun game.
That was good. That's a good game we got going on there.
Oh man, that'd be it. Well, y'all would have the chemistry. I got to, you know, I didn't get to. I got to coach a couple of y'all that you mentioned, and that was a great team.
Yeah, good picks from both of y'all. All right, we'll go ahead and switch over now. Just some quick hitters to end it off.
Okay.
First one, I had this question originally awarded as hardest player you ever had to guard, but Coach Porter wanted me to change it to just best players you've played against, right? Coach Porter, best player you've played against, Coach.
Yeah, so the best, I guess.
And you've named a few of these. I already know a couple of them.
I'll start off with Robert Reed, St. Mary's, out of St. Mary's University in San Antonio. St. Mary's was in our conference back then. They're a big rival. But in my 4 years, they had 3 NBA draft picks, so they were very, very tough. And Robert Reed was a second-round draft pick of the Houston Rockets and went on to a 14-year
great NBA player,
NBA career. And he was fun to play against, and but just a great player. Another guy on their team who was a senior my freshman year, Gary Tomaszewski. And he was a draft pick out for the Chicago Bulls, and he was a tough player. And Gary and I have stayed in touch over the years, and he was a good guy and just a great player. I played some city league with him when I was in law school, so that was kind of fun. But you know, since we played University of Houston, I played against Otis Birdsong. Had an NBA career. Sweet Lou Dunbar, who was decades with the Harlem Globetrotters. A quick story about him: I was kind of pushing him and holding him a little bit. He turns to the ref and says, "If you don't get this guy off me, I will." So next time down, I think I let him dunk or something, you know. But
get out the way.
When guys were hanging on me, I stole his line and I started using it. That's a good line.
Intimidating.
Yeah, started using that here. And then Sonny Parker out of A&M. Another NBA player, and then I'll mention one more. Pan American, Abe Lemons was coaching them. We went down there and played them a couple times, and they had a guy named Marshall Rogers, leading scorer in the NCAA Division I in the mid-'70s, and when we play him, dropped 54 on us. He'd take 2 dribbles across half court and jack it, and there were no threes.
Back then, that's nuts. That's even a worse shot. Back then.
I know. And he could drive, big guy. Anyway, he's kind of fun to play against, you know, players of that caliber. But Coach Schuler was pretty mad. We drove straight back to the gym, and we lost that game by 39 points. So we did 39-8 around. That's where you go down and touch and we did take charges where you had to dribble from half court and run into the guy under the basket. So he wasn't a happy coach. The guy had 54.
Jacob, what about you? You play any NBA players like
no
Coach?
NBA players on mine. The 2 that come to mind, that I played here at TLU. First one is going to be Travion Kirkendall from Centenary. I don't know if either of you guys have heard of him. Just
I think I know who you're talking about.
An incredible basketball player. I mean, a freak athlete, but super skilled at the same time. Quick little story about him. I've never had anybody come down when I was guarding him and start smiling until I was guarding Travion Kirkendall and he started smiling and scored on me. That was one of the...
That might be the ultimate sign of confidence right there.
Yeah, that's one of the worst feelings I've ever had. Like, maybe I shouldn't be in this game
Did he score? Did he score on that possession?
He sure did. I don't remember how, but I know he scored.
Right? Did you hit a 3 on him?
I might have. But, yeah, an incredible player. I think one of the times we played him, he had 38. I mean, just really hard to guard. Is a current Harlem Globetrotter, actually.
Oh, really?
Played overseas for a few years,
cool.
and I know now he's a Globetrotter. So, great guy and great player. The other one that comes to mind is Keenan Gums out of Shriner. Was a really good player and tore his ACL at one point in his career, and came back just transformed. I mean, he was about 6'4", 6'5". Was a little lanky coming out of high school, but after his surgery, he really got in the weight room. And I mean, man, he was one of the biggest guards.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a mismatch waiting to happen. He was quick enough to get by big guys if you put a big guy on him, but he was big enough to bully guards. And just an outstanding player. Went on to finish his career at Liberty.
I was going to say, was that the guy you're talking about?
Finished his career at Liberty, and he played overseas for a while too. So those were two of the best players I had ever played against.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've seen both of those guys' highlights before. They're tough. Next one, favorite play of your career. First one that comes to mind.
Favorite what?
Favorite play, like maybe it's a bucket you got or anything. Favorite career highlight, basically.
Career highlight I can do. Well, I can do 2 of those.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So
You got more.
no, just memories.
Yeah.
You know, but we went up and played Tarleton State, and I got hot. So I had 25 first half, right? Mm-hmm. And so we come out second half. I'm still hot. You know, sometimes. So I scored 10 quick points. I'm at 35. Next thing I know, I hear the horn. I look up. The guy's coming in. I'm saying, "You're out." No, what? Schuler takes me out when I had 35 and a bunch. I mean, I'm going for 50 that game, right? You might as well.
No doubt.
When you're that hot.
Yeah.
He took me out. I gave him grief for the rest of his life for taking me out for that. Then my last one was last conference game, or last home game here at TL. I played St. Edwards in our conference. So it was a conference game. I remember hitting one from the corner. I remember being hot that game, but I ended up with 40 and 25. So that was kind of that was a nice highlight, you know. So
I never had any of those.
You have a 40, 25.
No, a couple of highlights that come to mind. Similar to your first story. So as a D3 school, you know, we'll go play a couple D1 exhibition games here and there.
Yep, those are fun.
You know, just to get your feet wet, get everybody in the game. It's kind of more just like a trial run type deal.
But fun.
It's definitely fun,
Yeah,
absolutely. So we went up and played. We went to play Sam Houston, and it was New Year's Eve. We had actually played Centenary the night before.
That's late in the season for those D1 games.
Yeah, it was.
I hate.
So we played Centenary on December 30th. We were down 40 at halftime to Centenary, ended up losing by 20. Drove all the way home, so about a 7-hour car ride home. Had to drive to Huntsville the next morning, about 4 hours.
Why didn't y'all just go straight to Huntsville? Y'all had class?
You know how the budget be.
Oh, yeah.
So we drove all the way home, and we drove all the way back. So we drove to Huntsville that morning. So everyone's kind of groggy. I mean, we just got our butts kicked. Like, we're not feeling great. And so first half, we were losing 30-29 at halftime, which was pretty good, and I had 24. Ooh. So I thought I was going to get an assistant coach fired that day. I really did. The way I had 7 threes in the first half.
Oh, I remember that.
Whoever had that scout was in a lot of trouble.
I looked down.
Were they sagging on the first or the play? Or they were locked in?
You were deep too.
Yeah.
But I'd look down and watch Jacob would hit one of those. I'd look down at their bench and
head coach was livid.
Oh, he was livid. He was yelling at like you said, the assistant coach. And,
so let's just say second half, I don't even know if I got a shot up. I mean, they ended up.
That's a good feeling though. When you make
the
opposing bench mad.
I think they put a real athletic defender on your second half.
And then,
but
and then
that was fun to watch.
That was a great time.
That was fun to watch.
My other big memory was just winning my senior year. We won our conference tournament here on our home court in double overtime. I think that was one of the. I mean, that game was so hard fought. We went up, I think, 15-2 in like the first 3 minutes. Ended up going down by about 15 or 20 in the second half.
19,
it was just such a seesaw game, end up going to double overtime. We almost win it in regulation at the buzzer. They miss a shot to win it in the first overtime. I mean, just talk about a range of emotions. It was hard to keep your composure. Final score 99-95.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that one.
That
I could see the plays in my head.
I watched that game the other day. They posted it on YouTube like a few weeks ago. I watched that thing back again. It was crazy. Seeing the stands that filled too.
It was packed.
My
yeah,
gosh.
that was an incredible game.
Yeah, so when you say, one of their, like, a layup went in and out.
Yes, around and
Around
I can picture it.
I know.
My heart stopped.
Me as well.
Yeah.
So, those are good.
That's a good one.
Good highlights, Jacob. Thanks.
Next one. All right, Jacob, you'll probably take the lead on this one.
I got
Coach Porter's update on this. So,
okay.
In your playing days, what would be your dream NIL deal? What brand would you want to sponsor you?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
For gear, you got to go Hibbett Sports, good old local spot.
I guess that's realistic. That's realistic.
Decked
That's
out
realistic.
over at Hibbett.
You're right. You're right.
Shout
out
again,
Hibbett.
right? Let's think about where we're at here. We're not getting Nike down here.
That's probably the most realistic answer I've gotten so far. I've asked certain people, they want to like airline NIL deals and shoe deals. That's probably the most realistic answer.
Yeah, they got shoes at Hibbett. I mean, they got it all.
Yeah. It's not a bad one. Coach Porter, what brand would you want to sponsor you?
I'm passing on that one.
Passing?
I don't even know what
you don't want to sponsor? Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Favorite movie?
Oh, man.
Switch it up a little bit.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. But
there's so many good ones.
There's some good ones.
You can name a few if you can't pick one.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jacob.
I know you would think I would
because I've watched
on
more
the spot.
movies in my life than you have.
Trying to think favorite sports movie. I mean, there's so many
Sports.
good ones.
Hoosiers.
Hoosiers?
Yeah, I figured you would go there.
Yeah, thank you.
You can keep it. Favorite sports movie. Let's do that.
I think the original Space Jam is just a classic.
It's a good one too.
That's what I grew up on, probably.
But I liked the war movies as well, Saving Private Ryan. And
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Favorite TV show?
I'm a Friends guy through and
Friends?
through. I've seen every episode 100 times, and I'll watch it 101st if I have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big TV show guy, Coach?
They were a long time ago. MASH and All in the Family and all them sitcoms. I guess. Yeah.
All right, next one. If you could have played any other sport, what would it have been? At least in college. Like if you didn't play college basketball, what would you want to play?
I'll tell you a story. So ninth grade, I played football, not basketball. So in Sioux Falls, you go down to the stadium during the summer for your sophomore year, because like I said, it was three grades, and you sign up. So I'm going to sign up for football my sophomore year in high school, and I see these, but everybody's down there, so the seniors are there, and there's all these big guys. So I said, where's the basketball booth? So I went over and signed up for basketball, and I'm glad I did. But I guess
football would have been the one.
Oh, another story, real quick.
Go ahead.
You guys can cut whatever you want.
No. This is good. This is good content. I knew this would happen too. He's full of stories, guys.
So Texas Lutheran back in the '70s, Coach Wacker, national championships, right? And so it was great to be here during that time. I'm telling you. But they had some NFL scouts down here looking at some of our players, and so one of the Houston Oilers, they were the Houston Oilers back then, scout came into the gym, and I started talking to him. I said, you guys need to draft me. Like, I could be a receiver.
Yeah. Red zone threat, just throw it up.
I said, I could be a receiver. And he kind of looks at me and said, what are you talking about? I said, yeah, I'm the next Fred Bolitnikoff. I don't know if you know.
Bolitnikoff.
Yeah, there you go.
Best receiver in football.
Oakland Raiders. I said, don't have a lot of speed, but I can run routes, and I've got hands like you've never seen.
It's the rebounds.
I'm the next Fred Bolitnikoff. And the guy, he pinches my arm and says, if I signed, because I was kind of skinny.
Yeah.
If I signed you, I'd be picked up by the Humane Society.
Gosh.
I said, oh, thanks a lot. I said, you're going to look like a fool when I become an NFL receiver. You let the next Fred Bolitnikoff get away. I told him that.
Man.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
So football.
Yeah. In conclusion,
Yeah,
Jacob,
I played baseball growing up.
Okay.
I would argue I was a little bit better at baseball than I was basketball, but I liked basketball more. So around 7th, 8th grade, I gave it up, started to focus on one sport. But yeah, I'd say baseball.
What position did you play?
I played short and I pitched a little bit.
There you go.
I was a decent pitcher. I wasn't great, but I probably would have played in the field somewhere. But yeah, I loved. I mean, it was fun when I was a kid, but I narrowed it down to basketball.
Did you ever think about starting back up when you got here? Try to do both?
I played intramurals, and that was good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had too much time in between. I hadn't played since middle school, so I had too big of a gap.
Yeah.
I played through high school maybe, but I never even played in high school.
Yeah. All right, next one. What was your one road trip essential back in y'all's playing days? Road trip essential. One thing you had to have on the road
trip.
Yeah. Or now, Coach Porter, because you still go on the road with us.
Oh
too.
yeah, I go on the road now.
Current one. I got to get some
next question.
Trolley gummy candy.
Trolley.
Stop at Buc-ee's.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a
Buc-ee's
trolley
is
guy.
Fun, isn't it? Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't have one.
skip
I don't have one.
Skip it.
I don't have one.
Nothing's worse though. There's times we skip Buc-ee's. We'll be going on on
That's
35.
painful.
There's times like last year we skipped it a lot.
Really?
It hurt.
No, I didn't like that.
That's a request.
It'd be going by.
Coach Porter, you could tell them. You could tell
the
her.
bus-
Yeah, or Coach
tell-
Falky, tell them.
Falky,
Stop
hey.
at Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's.
Tell them to stop there.
I should.
All right. Next one. Who's the GOAT of basketball for y'all?
Oh, wow.
We got some different generations up here.
Different
so.
generations.
Yeah, we're gonna have different answers.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
I'm a LeBron guy, man.
Oh yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
You just can't.
I think.
You can't knock it.
I think.
He's my number 2.
As 1 and 2, I feel like are clear. It just
I'm
depends
curious.
what order you
see
put
what
them.
his number 1 is.
Well, no.
It might not be the person I'm thinking of.
It's one of those
Two.
deals where you can't say.
Yeah.
But I think the general consensus is Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Right?
That's mine too.
From my era, but I really like watching Larry Bird play. He was
Larry Legend.
one of my all-time favorites, but it's hard to
No, you
argue
can't go
against
wrong.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, next one. You kind of be like a flip-flop questions for y'all. So for Coach Porter, what's one thing you like about the modern game? And then we'll do vice versa for Jacob, for the old school. What's one thing you like about the modern game?
What do I like about the modern
Yeah, probably
game?
not a whole lot, but we'll see. Well, what could you have used to your benefit with the modern game now?
See, it's just so different. I liked it better when Walton posted up, or Jabbar, Chamberlain, or the big
Old
guys
school hoops.
The old school,
Yeah.
get it inside and score. What do I like about
The modern game.
the modern?
It's gonna be tough for Jacob to
Shouldn't
answer
be
his
that
too.
hard. Oh no, I got an
You-
answer.
you
in
do?
mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm
So
thinking
yeah,
what
what's
I
one
like about
one thing you would have liked about playing in the old
I
school
miss
era?
the good old hook shot, man. The sky hook, unstoppable.
Okay.
You can't stop a hook shot. But if I would have shot the way I did back then, they would have thought I was performing witchcraft or something.
Yeah, there was no 3-point line either for
I
you.
would've shot a lot
So
of long twos.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know what I like about the modern game.
nothing.
it's a
That's
lot
why
of-
you still come around, right?
No, I'm talking about. I like college. I like college basketball. NBA, I'm not as. I don't
Yeah.
watch as
My
much
dad hates
anymore.
watching the NBA too.
Yeah.
He thinks they
That's
play no defense.
that's
No
kind of a common
defense. I
consensus
mean,
these days.
yeah, they know who the stars are,
Right.
and they get to score, so you don't get to guard them. And I was
fair.
flipping the other, not long ago, where you sometimes land on an NBA game, and I watched for like 4 times down, and every time both teams, all the players were behind the 3-point
Yeah.
line. The guy with the ball would just make a move, and then either go in, take a jump
One-on-one.
shot,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
or dish it out to one of the guys hanging around.
Yeah.
And okay, I'm turning that. I'm not watching that.
Change the channel.
I'm not watching this.
I'm going to bed.
Give me the All in the Family rerun. But no, but you got to. The eras are so different. The players are so athletic. It's unbelievable
Yeah.
today, both college and
Agreed.
professional. It's really wow.
Uh-huh.
The-
All right, so we'll go to the next question here.
Yeah.
Go-to pregame meal back when y'all both played.
Dude, we didn't have pregame meals. We used to.
What was it then?
They'd pack us a lunch or something. We called them hockey pucks, and they were just little things with stuff on them, and
Like a sandwich or?
no, it was like a little hockey puck. It was like a little pizza thing or
Oh,
something,
man.
We didn't eat as well as you guys do. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
just puts it into perspective. Sometimes I think we don't got a good enough.
Right?
Hearing that, I'm like, all right, maybe I'll take
Yeah,
I'll take Subway.
I still remember my chicken bacon ranch over at Subway.
Uh-huh.
Man.
There
It
you
was like
go.
my
Okay.
daily routine.
Yeah.
Subway was it for
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Anyway, you need to edit that out. I don't want to speak disparagingly
you're good.
against my
Just how it was
my
back then.
Texas Lutheran. That's how it
That's
was.
true. I mean, yeah.
Play the card you're dealt.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep it on the food scene here. Favorite food spot in Seguin?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I just went over to Garcia's.
Oh, I'm
Great-
a
great
local.
lunch.
I'm a local over
and
there.
got the breakfast tacos, which
So
I'll eat
good.
for lunch or dinner or breakfast, and they're awesome.
Garcia sponsor us.
Yes.
TLU
Oh,
Men's basketball loves y'all.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Been going there since I was a freshman. There in Rusty Rooster, man. That's the
Yeah.
spot.
Yep, feeling too. All right, we'll go last one here. If you could give any advice to this year's team, what would it be?
Block out for crying out loud.
I wouldn't expect anything else from you.
No,
That's a good one. I know some of our bigs are watching. Me too. I got to take that into account too.
Yeah.
We got to lock in on the boards.
I wouldn't say anything but enjoy it, man. It flies by.
Yeah.
It goes by quick. And the second you start sulking or not enjoying it, I mean, you're going to regret it. So enjoy every step of the journey. There's going to be a lot of hard times and a lot of good times and few and far between. So just enjoy every minute of it.
Yeah,
100%.
that's a more serious and better answer than mine. But besides blocking out, my advice would be very similar. Be grateful.
Yeah.
And so, and being grateful and thankful, give it all you have for the time you have, because we talk about all the time, don't we, Eve, that
Yes, sir.
small percentage of high school basketball players get to play college basketball.
Yes, sir.
You guys are part of that small percentage, and you should be grateful. You should be seizing the moment, as Jacob suggests, and just giving it your all and see what you can accomplish.
Absolutely. That's a great way to end the episode. So once again, y'all, thank you for tuning in to the episodes. We've gotten a lot of great feedback from everybody. Appreciate everyone that's been watching. Thank you again, Coach Porter and Jacob, for coming on. That's going to wrap things up for episode 5 of Dog Talk. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace. Sir.
That was awesome.
Wait, hold on real quick.